What's up, guys? So, woke up this morning, my weight was 241 and live glucose check. Just got through eating about an hour and a half ago ish, 107, perfectly normal from having recently ate. So, today's episode is going to be all about how to stop consuming carbs. I'm going to give you tips and tricks on what I do to lower my carb consumption so that I eat, as close to zero carbs as possible. So, low carb doesn't mean low flavor. You can make almost anything low carb and have it still be extremely tasty. There are three essential macronutrients that you need, and that's proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. There are essential proteins, which means that if you do not eat them, you will die. There are essential fatty acids. That means that if you do not eat certain types of fat or in general, you will die. They're essential, right? There's no such thing as an essential carbohydrate. There are civilizations that live their entire life with essentially zero carbs and they're fine for it. And they live to a ripe old age. So if anyone tells you that you need carbs, that is 100% false. You do not need carbs. They're extremely tasty, but you don't need them to survive. So I love burgers. I mean, I could eat a burger every day. I don't, but I could. And one way that I minimize my carbohydrates is just simply not having the bun. A burger tastes just as good with all the ingredients that you want on it, bunless, right? So almost all the carbs from a burger come from the bun itself. And I sometimes will eat it as a lettuce. So I'll eat the burger over a bed of lettuce, or I'll eat it as a lettuce wrap between two sheets of lettuce. Or sometimes you might really, really want the bun, right? So just have one bun on the bottom, lettuce wrap on top. There you go. Or if you get it out, just take off the top bun. You've already cut your carbs practically in half by doing that alone. My wife loves Mexican food. She loves chicken enchiladas, specifically the Pioneer Woman's white chicken enchiladas. And so one day I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a low carb version of this. I did everything she did. I added in extra peppers, extra seasonings, and then I substituted the tortillas in the dish where you normally wrap it in tortilla. I just omitted that, and instead I roasted some broccoli and some rice cauliflower instead. But it had all the cheese and all the fat and all the protein and all the peppers and all the flavor. And me and my wife honestly liked it more. We were like, dude, this tastes so much better because tortilla in general doesn't have much of a flavor unless you add butter or something else to it. So, in a lot of cases, if you can't make something just as good, you can even make something superior. And speaking of rice cauliflower, that is one of my biggest things that I use to substitute instead of rice in a dish, right? When you want to cook it properly though, if you cook it well, it's almost indistinguishable. If you were to add it to a soup, I have it with rice cauliflower with gumbo or crawfish etouffee, you can practically not tell a difference. You want to cook it until all of the moisture is evaporated out of it, right? And so that's when it's at its best. You can add some salt, pepper, and seasonings to it. When it comes to tacos and taco bowls, like I will simply just get a taco bowl if I happen to eat out. Or I will go, like, I love taco trucks. So I'll go to the taco truck, order four tacos, take the meat from two of those tacos, put it into the other two, and then there you go. So now you've got two double stuffed tacos. You have the same amount of protein, but half the amount of carbs. So you can always significantly reduce or eliminate carbs in almost any situation, whether you're eating at home or eating out. Pizza. I literally eat my pizza with a spoon. I know that's so weird, but like I'll go to a restaurant like Costco, it's super cheap pizza, right? And I will literally just take a spoon and I scrape off the cheese and the pepperoni and all the sauce and all the goodness, and it tastes like pizza. I don't miss the bread. And sometimes I'll nibble a little bit on the crust, right? But I don't miss it. I have a great recipe for fathead pizza dough that I adapted and like modified that I'll share later in the channel when I start sharing recipes. My main trick to eating low carb or no carb is just simply prioritizing protein. And you want to just the more protein you eat, the less carbohydrates you'll eat, and substitute any carbs in a dish with some sort of green leafy vegetable or zucchini or squash or something low glycemic. So stay tuned, guys. The next episode, I'm going to be covering bad oils, and together, you and I will slay the diabetes dragon.